It is what it is. And here's the good thing. I'm no registered offender or any of that. I mean, the courts looked at it and went, in any other state in the union, it wouldn't have even been a crime. So I don't register. There's none of that. You'll hear that. People like making videos about it, but I'm not an offender. I'm none of that shit. Doesn't mean it wasn't tough, but it hasn't scarred me. It doesn't even come up unless somebody says something like that. It came up today for a couple of reasons. It came up when I was 16 years old. I caught a statutory rape case, 15-year-old girl, oral sex. When I was 16 years old, I caught a statutory rape case, 15-year-old girl, oral sex. In the state I lived in, that was statutory rape. Now, I didn't get charged until I was over the age of consent. I didn't get taken to court until I was about 18. And then I kind of took off for a little while because it didn't seem like a big deal. And when I got caught up for a fugitive from justice warrant, I was in my 20s. However, in the state that I lived in, you had to do what was called a plethysmograph. And I'm betting you don't know what a plethysmograph is. They made me throw this thing on my junk and sit in a room, and they showed me images of naked women and people having sex and this kind of thing. And then I saw a couple of those pictures too, of things that I'll never be able to unsee. Unfortunately, I have something that is very often thought to not be real, right? You can look it up. But it is... it's the inability to forget certain things, right? It's a memory that literally carries shit with you for the rest of your life, right? It's called hyperthemsia, and there are people who believe it doesn't exist. You can read all about it if you'd like. Yeah, you know what, Allison Metcalf Palumbo? Here's the thing. Allison Metcalf Palumbo makes a great point. Sounds like a lawsuit to me. Well, it should. Here's the problem. I was guilty. I did it. There are images I sure as hell would like to be able to unsee. But we don't unsee images, especially if something is going on that's tickling parts of your brain to make you remember things. And what I mean by that is we're hardwired to make sure that we don't kill ourselves, right? If you hear a train go by and it makes that horn and the wind, the first time that happens to you, your brain is going to put that into a place where the next time it hears anything like that, they go, train, and you stop immediately in your tracks. We remember more traumatic things, and we remember them so much more vividly because our brain thinks we have to. You know something, people? Maybe I should, I don't talk about this. I don't want pity on this. I don't. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Really, honestly, I'm not trying to get raw, people, but we'll do it this way. I got a blowjob. Sorry. There you go.